Hi, in this video let's discuss few important points pertaining to cranial nerves. So as students we always find it very challenging to remember the sequence of cranial nerves and also their characteristics, like whether they are sensory, motor or mixed, right? So in this video I will be discussing few mnemonics and various other means to simplify remembering these particular topics. So we have a mnemonic here. One of our trendy teacher asked for a very good van at hospital. If you can remember this mnemonic, we can easily write down or remember the sequence of various cranial nerves. So by the way, we have 12 pairs of cranial nerves, right? So based on this mnemonic, the first O stands for olfactory. So in factory there is production of goods, right? So goods are produced first. So olfactory comes first, and the second O stands for optic. The third O stands for oculomotor. TR stands for trochlear, and the next T stands for trigeminal, and A stands for abducens. F stands for facial nerve. V stands for vestibulocochlear or auditory nerve, and G stands for glossopharyngeal. V stands for VA, van, right? So VA stands for vagus. A stands for accessory nerve. So let me just write down here, accessory nerve. And finally, H stands for hypoglossal nerve, right? So olfactory, first cranial nerve, followed by optic, oculomotor, trochlear, trigeminal, abducens, facial, vestibulocochlear or auditory, glossopharyngeal, vagus, spinal accessory or accessory nerve, and then we have hypoglossal or 12th cranial nerve, right? So based on this mnemonic we can easily remember the sequence of these cranial nerves. And we have another mnemonic in order to remember the sequence of these cranial nerves, and the mnemonic is as follows. Before that, trochlear nerve is also called as pathetic nerve, and vestibulocochlear nerve is also called as auditory nerve, and accessory nerve, it's also called as spinal accessory nerve, right? Now the mnemonic is, on occasion of parties, the attractive faces are girl visitors, say hi. If you can remember this, you can remember the sequence again. On occasion of parties, the attractive faces are girl visitors, say hi. And whether they are sensory or motor or mixed, it's always a confusion, right? So when we were in intermediate, we had one biology teacher who made us sing a song pertaining to this. And the moment he used to come to the class, the first thing he used to do is he used to sing that song and also made us to recite the song. And the song goes as following: sensory sensory, motor motor, mixed. Motor mixed, sensory mixed, mixed, motor motor. So that's the song, and I learned this way back in 2004 or 2005, I guess. So I still remember the song. It's because of a repeated revision or recitation, right? So you can practice this song so that you can easily remember whether a cranial nerve comes under a sensory, motor or mixed category. And the song is, I would like to repeat it: sensory sensory, motor motor, mixed. Motor mixed, sensory mixed, mixed, motor motor. So let me just write down the sequence again here. So as I said, sensory sensory, motor motor, mixed. Motor mixed, sensory mixed, mixed, motor motor, right? So these are the properties of these respective cranial nerves, right? So if you observe them, so let me just write down here all the sensory nerves, motor nerves and mixed nerves separately, right? So based on the song and based on what I have written here, sensory nerves include the following: 1, 2, 8, right? So let me just write down here: 1, 2 and 8. So these are sensory nerves, right? Hope we didn't miss anything here. Now coming to motor nerves, we have 3, 4, 6, 11 and 12, right? So we have 3, 4, 6, 11 and 12. And coming to mixed nerves, we have 5, 7, 9 and 10. 5, 7, 9, 10. So it's difficult to remember here, right? So if you can recite that song every day once a while in the morning time, so you can easily remember the characteristics of these cranial nerves, right? So this is a summary of various sensory, motor as well as mixed nerve. Now coming to the most important aspect, that is the characteristic features of these respective cranial nerves. As you can see, we have broadly different categories: general afferent nerves, special afferent nerves, voluntary efferent nerves and involuntary efferent nerves. So general afferent, their main function is to carry sensations from the receptors to the central nervous system, to the brain, right? So in general afferent nerves, we have again two categories: sensory nerves as well as proprioceptive nerves. Proprioception is nothing but position sense, right? So sensory nerves include 5, 7, 9 and 10. Proprioception, it's by 5 and 7 nerves respectively. And then we have special afferent nerves which carry special senses. And these include the following: 1, 2, 7, 8, 9 and 11. And then we have voluntary efferent nerves. These voluntary efferent nerves are motor nerves which supply to skeletal muscles, right? So motor nerves which supply to skeletal muscles include 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11 and 12. And then we have involuntary efferent nerves. These involuntary efferent nerves are parasympathetic to smooth muscles as well as various glands, right? So involuntary efferent nerves include 3, 7, 9 and 10, right? So these are some of the important characteristics of various cranial nerves and various categories based on their properties, right? So to summarize, cranial nerves, we have 12 pairs, and a mnemonic to remember these 12 pairs of cranial nerves include the following. One of our trendy teacher asked for very good van at hospital, right? And also, as I mentioned, we have a song in order to remember whether they are sensory, motor or mixed. And based on their broad function, whether they are afferent or efferent. In afferent, we have general afferent, which includes sensory as well as proprioceptive. And we also have special afferent or special senses, those nerves which carry special senses. And also we have various motor nerves to skeletal muscles and various nerves which are parasympathetic to smooth muscles as well as glands, right? Hope it's clear.